Hey everybody. So we are going to do something I normally don't do, which is talk from some notes. I usually come on these things and I kind of just rant a little bit and stuff, but today I wanted to actually give you 5 things that I think are really key to having a successful and healthy week. So we're going to get started. If at any time you have questions, just type them in. I will answer them even if you're watching the replay. And always feel free to introduce yourself. I love meeting new people and saying hello to my special tribe members. So I wanted to talk to you today because Sundays are like a historically big day for a lot of people who are trying to lose weight. One, it's for some of us, it's the day that we, eat up everything that we're not going to have anymore because the diet starts Monday. And I coach people that the diet never starts on Monday. The diet is a process. It is something that you learn to do over time. You craft a lifestyle that you can live for the rest of your life. I lost 100 pounds 10 years ago, and I've been able to keep it off simply because I just refused to do things that I knew that I wasn't going to keep doing over and over and over again. So some of that is all about planning. And I think for a lot of people who are trying to lose weight, the planning is, I think we know how to put stuff on a calendar, and that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're not going to just talk about a calendar or that kind of stuff, but it's really the mindset behind the plan. I have plenty of clients. I have given out plenty of plans and stuff. Most of us don't have a lack of being able to, put out something that would make us lose weight. We have a hard time crafting something that we can be genuine and honest with. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So the number one thing is you have to make a plan. And in that plan, you should plan about your food. You need to plan your sleep. I think that's a huge missing component these days with people. I'm sorry, I'm going to switch around a little bit. I am wearing, I think, the world's shortest skirt today. I normally don't wear such short skirts. Hey, Elaine. I think people forget to plan their sleep and to make sure that they're getting plenty of rest, especially women who want to lose weight. The majority of us are eating because we're tired. And if we would just prioritize that sleep, and if you're notoriously getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep, you're just going to be exhausted most of the time. Your body is not going to keep up with that. It's going to look for food to help you get over the hump very often. So making sure that you can start, and this is the big thing. Don't go from 0 to 60 in a heartbeat. What I would rather see people do when it comes to like doing anything, whether it's sleep or planning whatever, plan something you realistically could do. If you stay up till 11 o'clock every night, start going to bed at 10:45. Get really good at being asleep by 10:45. Then roll that back. Then get really good at being asleep by 10:30. So that you have time to, for those of us who are prioritizing sleep, we have to learn how to get shit done in a shorter amount of time. So like if let's say you're just all of a sudden going to go balls to the wall and start getting 8 hours of sleep and you have to be in bed by 9, you'll quit within a couple days. Because all of a sudden you're not getting all this stuff done that you normally would be getting done. So I would say back it up in 15-minute increments for a while. That gives you time to figure out how to prioritize your evening stuff and get more things done. And then you also, hey Laura, you also want to get your exercise in there. So as you're making your plan, be making sure, just make sure that everything for your healthy lifestyle needs to be in there. Second step, all of that crap's got to be realistic. Now that's where I see, step 2 is kind of like the step that I see the most, let's say, room for opportunity for most people. A lot of women that I coach go into the mindset of, I want to know what to do to lose weight the fastest. Honestly, if all of us were so committed to doing this, we would have already been doing all that. You would have already figured it out. You wouldn't need me. You wouldn't be watching these lives and stuff. You'd just be doing it. Be realistic. What are the people that lose weight are the people that put in things each week that they know they can get done. I tell my clients all the time, get beast mode on being consistent. Figure out how to be consistent. I don't care. Like, I have one client, she actually started last night. And I was talking to her yesterday and she was like, want to start it all. And I was like, no, like your goal this week literally is you need to write down everything you're eating, but don't change the food yet. Like, don't just start with changing the food. Start with getting a really good picture of when do I eat? What are the foods I like? You know, where are going to be the opportunities for me to make some changes that I can live with? You know, get the snap. That's week 1 of a diet, is getting the snapshot of what's realistically going on. So I talk to people about being, you know, just being honest and authentic with yourself. There's no sense in bullshitting yourself. It's not going to work. You can try to bullshit me, but you're never going to bullshit yourself. So for me, like for most people, what I tell them to do is, if you love exercise or you love the food side, you know, plan the heck out of that. You know that you'll be consistent with it. That's not an issue. On the side that you're not as consistent with, that's where you want to get real. Like for people that hate exercise, if you think you're going to start going to the gym every day at 5 a.m. this week, the majority of the time you're going to peter out. You might make it this week, but next week it ain't going to be so fun. You want to put in things you know you'll do. I have so many clients that love to walk. Like they love going walking, but they don't do it because they don't think it's enough to lose weight. And I'm like, so sitting on your butt is the better alternative to that. Well, if I'm not going to go to the gym and so blah, 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 I'm like, so, but what you're telling me is that sitting because you won't go to the gym is better than doing something that you actually like and that you'll move and you'll do improvements for your body. So, you know, be kind to yourself when you're making your realistic plan. Don't have, like, if you start making your plan and you say, well, it should be, that's your red light to say, no, there are no shoulds. Corinne told me there's no rules. If I know the best I've got in me this week is to get up and walk for 10 minutes, 2 days this week, I am going to be beast mode on that. Like, that is my win. That is what I will do. If you love exercise and a realistic plan for you is 5 days a week, an hour, then you put that in there. But whatever the plan is, make it very realistic for you. It fits in your family time. It fits in with your priorities. It fits in with your passionate loves. If you're a reader, you know, pick something where you might can read a little bit while you exercise. You know, there's nothing wrong with killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. So the third step, so after you've been like brutally honest with yourself and you're like, I'm all in. All right, I got a realistic plan. I know I can do this. Number 3 is watch for, well, the first thing is agree with yourself. Say, okay. Because I think this is like one of the things that I know that has been a sticking point for me at times. So there's this concept of when you make a plan, you shake hands with yourself and you're like, we are all in on this. Like, seriously, let's have the heart to heart. Let's look each other in the eye. This is what we're doing. And we're not going to argue with ourselves and stuff. We made sure that what we put on paper this week was so doable that we couldn't mess it up. Okay? So then you have the handshake. And then you are no longer negotiating with yourself. One of the things I love about a good plan that's realistic and that you agree to yourself with is that it takes out decision fatigue all week long. You no longer have to argue with yourself on Tuesday at 5 o'clock that you're going for a walk because you put it on the plan, and on Sunday you knew that that was a good time for you to go do a walk, and you're walking because that's what you enjoy, and that you know that for 10 minutes you can walk. You know what you are having for lunch because you looked at your plan, you prepared. That's going to be step 5, by the way. But you know what you're doing. There's no negotiating. There's a lot of power in taking choice away from yourself ahead of time. Because a lot of us, we end up eating shit and not exercising because we wait each day to make choices. And we are tired out of our wazoo because all day long we've made choices. We've made choices for our kids. We've made choices for our husbands, choices for our bosses, choices about what we have to do here, what at work. We are done making choices. So when it's all of a sudden, it's like, all right, Corinne, you know, what are we going to do when we work out tonight? F that, like, get me some wine. You know, I'm done making choices. I just want to sit and let my brain go numb. If you've already made a lot of your personal choices, you will feel like $1,000,000. I promise you. There's such a relief in your brain that happens when when you're not always arguing with yourself. Like, you're taking the argument out, you're taking decisions out, you're taking all of this energy that doesn't even feel good, but you're like saying, I'm taking that, putting it over here so that this week I can just operate. So many of you don't really get to do that very often. You don't get to just be with something. This is your gift to you. Your healthy plan is what you give yourself. That is your, I don't know, it's just like hey, Suzanne, it's like your little, just like piece of serenity that is all yours. Like, nobody can take your choices away anymore, because you made them and you made sure that they fit in with everybody else's bullshit. I mean, that's the beautiful thing. A lot of times when we don't make the choices ahead of time, we blame other people for not letting us work out. We blame them for what we're eating and stuff. When we didn't even try to make a choice in the beginning of the week. We didn't take anything into consideration. So that's your gift to yourself. So make sure you do it. And if you're on a Sunday night sitting here and you ain't done jack with I ain't food prepped. I've boiled some eggs. That's all I've done so far. I've been like, I don't know, busy and stuff today. Hey, Mary Jo. Mary Jo mode. I had to get it in there. It just is like, but I'm still going to do it. I'm doing a quick one. And there's because I've done this so often, because I've made choices ahead of time, when it came to throwing together something, my brain just knew what to do, because all the times that I took time to plan and I took time to do a big food prep and I took time to do all that, my brain's ready for it. If you're in the beginning of it, you can at least make a plan. You can sit down right now with a piece of paper and at least write down Subway at lunch. Here's exactly what I will order. I mean, you literally can make any kind of plan you want, any kind of plan that's going to fit for you, and take a lot of that choice out for yourself so that you can just be, and just let that shit go, as the awesome meditation says. Somebody should really post that meditation in the comments because it's really good. The next thing though is, so after you've agreed with yourself and there's no negotiation, there is a little bit of component of flexibility. And here's what it is. I call it honest flexibility. No bullshitting yourself flexibility. Now, let's say you're sitting around and you're like, well, I'm tired, man, I had a rough day, blah, blah, blah. That's mindless chatter. That's just what we like to say when we don't want to execute the plan. Being flexible is when your kids get sick, and not beating yourself up that you can't work out because your child is throwing up, or you've had a car accident, or you have to work late. Like, there's no choice. Like, your boss has said, shit's blowing up in IT and you got to stay. Like, we have to have you here. That's being flexible. Saying, you know what? I'll either replan it. It's not the end of the world. I'm moving this, or this is not going to happen because of this. There's a difference between practicing flexibility and practicing self-negotiation that turns into poo-pooing on yourself. So everybody knows the fine line. If we all know it. I don't have to explain it. So that was number 4. So just be honest and be willing to be flexible. So when you have to dump your plan, you just say it, this was really non-negotiable stuff. And if you don't know if it's non-negotiable, just ask me. I'll tell you. I'll be honest. The last thing is to prepare. So the preparation part is really key. So like, you've done all the other steps. You've made the plan for food, sleep, and exercise. You can make all kinds of plans, but to me, those are the 3 major components of being healthy. You're realistic with it. You've agreed with yourself that you're not going to negotiate, but you're also going to be flexible and not beat yourself up for life's emergencies. And then the last thing is to prepare. So look at your plan. Like, what do you need to prepare? Do you need to lay out workout clothes? If you have decided there's a couple days that you are working out first thing in the morning, get that crap done at night. Again, take choice out. Getting up in the morning is hard for anybody that works out in the morning. There's rarely anybody that I know that doesn't feel that first couple of minutes of like, oh God, here we go. We got to do this. take as much decision out of it as you can. If your clothes are laid out, if the water is sitting next to you where you know you're going to drink some water. Somebody had posted something the other day where a guy said first thing he does is the morning he keeps water by his table. He drinks a full glass when he first gets up before he'll even set or turn off the alarm. And then the alarm is across the room. So that there's several things that have to happen before he can con himself back into going to bed. So those are all good ideas. You know, I sleep in my workout clothes. A lot of times I'll sleep in my sports bra. It's comfortable, and my shirt. And then I just throw on shorts. I know that should be everybody's mantra. Let that shit go. Hey, Lauren. Then calendar it. Make sure it's on your calendar. Like, have it. You know, for a lot of my clients are either really busy moms or busy moms with a job, or they have a very hectic job. I mean, I just don't know many women that just have some kind of like, this shit's easy. I know what everybody else complain about. That's cake. You know, most of us need the calendar. Put it on the calendar that you look at the most. I know several of my clients who have multiple calendars. What I would do is whichever one is your default mode calendar, the one like you would never not check this one. That's the one that your healthy plan should be on. Your healthy plan shouldn't be on some pie in the sky calendar tucked away in a bag somewhere that you only get out on Sunday, take a photo of it and post it up on Instagram. It needs to be like it needs to be on the automatic. I just have to say I just hit my steps. I must talk with my hands a lot. I was like 200 off too. The other thing is tell other people what you're doing this week. Hey, Laura. I often see this trap happen where we make our plans and then we forget to tell like our husbands and kids all of a sudden we're going to take care of ourselves. And then when mom's going missing, everybody's asking. And then a lot of my clients who are called what's S's, where they're very, you know, their strong suit is, you know, their empathetic and sensitive side, where they're the caretaker of like everybody and anybody. Well, when people ask what they're doing, they all of a sudden go into like, oh, let everybody, you know, do something on their own. Oh no. So tell people ahead of time. Say, you know what? I'm going to be going for a walk on, you know, Wednesday at 5 o'clock when I first get home. You kids do this and mommy will be back. Or maybe they'll want to go. Who knows? It's amazing to me when we start sharing our healthy lifestyle plans in an enthusiastic, I'm committed and this is what I'm doing way. People kind of like want to do something with you sometimes. You know, I've had more clients like kids and things get turned on to new food and new exercise and things like that simply because mama looked happy doing it. You know, everybody, I just don't know of anybody people always say, you know, happy life, happy wife. Everybody wants mama happy. You know, mama's the one person we don't want happy. And it's very true. And when they see you happy, I mean, they support. They get behind you. They will remind you that it's time to work out. You know, if they see all this positive benefit, it's amazing how, you know, I'm lucky enough that the majority of the people that I'm around have amazing support systems. Sometimes they don't always see it, but they start seeing it when their own attitude changes a little bit. But majority of us have amazing people in our lives who are not trying to stop us from being our best. They only want us to be our best. And they wish that we would take better care of ourselves. I mean, most of us are so loved that the people around us are like, I wish you would take better care of yourself so I know that you're going to be here a long time. You know, those are some of the things you can think about when, you know, when you're taking that time for yourself. Sometimes I think we guilt trip ourselves on it and we just shouldn't. Hey, Jody. And so tell other people. And then I would just make sure, like, for people trying to lose weight especially, make sure the food is prepared. You do not have to do an elaborate food prep, but whatever it is that needs to be done, if you hate chopping vegetables, for God's sakes, don't save that to do on a Tuesday night when you've sat in traffic and had a shitty day at the office. It is not going to happen. If you don't like handling meat every day of the week, pre-cook your meat on the weekend. There's, you know, some of you, there's some stuff you love to cook during the week. It is not hard to make that happen. That's the stuff that like make it fresh or whatever. But with preparedness, take an honest look at the kinds of things that you know, if this is ready, I do it so much better. I eat so much better for me. I'm so much healthier. I'm more likely to, lose weight this week if I have really nutritious stuff planned for me. It's not just planning it, but it's the bottom line of all this is we're building you up to be prepared. To go from making a plan to being super realistic about whatever plan you want to do, to making that contract with yourself, we're doing this, we are all in, being flexible and honest, and then being prepared with it. It's so much easier too to prepare. I'm going to tell you, a lot of times people don't like food prep, and they don't like prepping clothes and everything because they've planned shit they don't like. When you plan stuff that you like and that you enjoy, it makes life so much easier to execute. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Or I see so many of my girls in here. Seriously. I'd love to answer some if you have any. Let's see. Hey, Jody and Marla. So Marla some of her girls are in here. She's one of my clients. She led a team of PNP members through a triathlon, most of which none of them had ever done one. And about 12 weeks ago, they all started training online together. And they finished it, and they had amazing pictures and an amazing time. And they're already, there's a big thread about a bunch of us doing it next year, like a lot of us doing it next year. So, they're a really good, I think that about all my clients. So they all such embody that there's just no limits. Whatever you dream that you want to do, find your tribe and find the people that will cheer you on and get out there and learn how to do it. It's amazing to me how many of us can teach ourselves how to do such crazy good things. So, how comfortable is sleeping in a sports bra, really? Must be pretty comfortable to do it every night. There's hardly a night that I don't. You can ask Chris. I almost always sleep in it. But I buy comfortable sports bras. Step one, don't buy one with an underwire. That won't feel good. Step two is make sure it fits right. I love it. I take naps in them. I rarely don't wear one. In fact, probably, I would say 95% of the time that's what I wear. I don't really, this is the closest to a real bra that I've worn forever, and this is actually a sports bra just made like a real bra. I wouldn't sleep in this one. I like to sleep in racerbacks or something along those lines. And my bras, they have compression in them, but I guess it just doesn't bother me. Now, if it bothers your sleep, don't do it. Just know that it better be laying on the table next to you. But I think for me, I sleep in a lot of my workout clothes, but I feel like if I'm going to if I can run 13 miles in it, I certainly can sleep in it, I guess that's how I came up with that. I don't know. Hey, Pam. Who's Pam? I don't see a Pam in here. I must have missed a Pam. I've seen a bunch of people in here. Do you have one that doesn't give you a uniboob? Well, I wear the Belisa Brazil one, Suzanne. Almost all of my bras are hers. And she's got several. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you go to her website, it's BelisaBrazilStore.com. Her bras will make your boobs look amazing. Especially the new one. They're cut low. They have like a big band underneath. So they give good support. But they're cut kind of like this. They're the King's favorite sports bra. But you can check those out. I like those. And I also like Under Armour. But uniboob doesn't bother me. I guess I just figure that, but I have a lot of boobage. So when I'm wearing a sports bra, I almost like one that's going to kind of get it all up in there and stuff, just because I do a lot of burpees and, I go to Orange Theory a lot and stuff like that. I'm constantly bent over, and I find that I don't like having my stuff just all over the place, because I like to wear this is her top. So talk about boobs. You can let me hold y'all up here, otherwise I just look like all I'm doing is putting boobs. But this is one of her tanks. Oops, sorry, I think I'm jacking this thing around. But anyway, it's kind of like a loosier fit, and I like wearing them because they're nice and low here. But that's why I like a higher bra, so that I don't have a bunch of I just, like a lot of toppage falling out. I have like a couple of the Champion bras and stuff, and I don't have anything against Champion. Honestly, I like them, but I have too much boob for them, and they like I always feel like I'm coming out of those, so I don't love them. I think I just went through all of the bras I do like. Yeah, so I would say Under Armour and the Belisa ones. The Belisa ones will hold up forever. Now, my Under Armour ones don't. I've had to replace them several times. My Belisa bras, I swear to God, I have sports bras from her I have owned for over 5 years. But I also have like 30,000 colors, so I probably don't go through them as often. But I love her bras, so I've worn them for a long time. I wear super compressive sports bras for 0 bounce. I always wonder about sleeping in a bra. Just try it one night. Maybe try, I don't know, just try it one night, or try it during a nap or something. Like if you ever take a nap, like if you can grab one on a weekend, maybe sleep in one and just see if you noticed, or you may notice it's not even that big a deal. So, does she make sports bras in bigger sizes? I would say that I am probably about the biggest size. I know that I get larges. You could probably get a little bit more boob in there, but that's probably about it on the bras. I can talk to her about it for the next time that she's going to run bras, because I know this go around she has that new zip-up hoodie we were talking about will come out next week, not this Monday. They were having shipping issues with the company, so she's going to start shipping. It'll all go online next week. But anyway, she's starting to run a few extra larges for our girls to see if we're going to order more extra larges. She would look at maybe even cutting pants and stuff on the next run and stuff. So it all depends on I wouldn't stock stuff if I couldn't get a market either. So if she has the right market for it, then yeah, she's going to do that. Let's see. I can't wear my sports bras forever. They get a stink after a while that won't come out. Do you wash them special? I don't. I will say every now and then I have given them that vinegar treatment where you soak them in vinegar. I think my sister-in-law usually does it for me, but that sometimes works. And then there's a detergent that I've used on them before too, but I get that detergent at my yoga studio. Jody, I'll check to see what the name of that is. Now I have washed a lot of my bras typically don't get super stinky. It's my pants, because you know me, I'm a commando girl. So I noticed that I start getting, this is way TMI for the public Fit and Fat page, but I feel like I get a vinegar smell downtown. Like after a little bit, some sweat starts up, and I'm like, but I haven't noticed it in her stuff as much. I don't know. It's like a lot of my Under Armour clothes and stuff, I get that funk in there. So I've been using some of that stuff from the yoga studio, and it seems to have helped. I just think some of my clothes that I've tried it on, it has. I started too late. I actually did get rid of several pairs of pants the other day. None of them which were the Belisa ones, but they were just like other off-brands and stuff that I'd tried over the years. Mainly because I noticed that every time I would wear them, if I started sweating, I just felt like I smelled like hell all at once. So I'd be happy to be a test case for her in bigger sizes. Well, maybe you could message her and just tell her if she ever wanted to try like a I know sometimes she does, like, what do you call them? Like, not protocol, like where you test something. Every now and then she'll test something. Maybe ask her if she ever wants to, tell her your size and, like your measurements and stuff, and say, hey, I'll test one and see what happens. You never know. Don't know till you ask, right? And I know that we are not the only people that have big boobs. So, no, Kim, she's in Las Vegas, actually. Prototype. Thank you, Suzanne. I was like, what the hell is the name of that? It was like, when you can like envision a word and you can't get your grasp on it. But no, she's in Las Vegas. She has, I have been buying her clothes for years. This is way off topic, but yeah, I've been buying her clothes for years and years and years. I love them. I love the way they feel. They're the softest clothes ever. I mean, like, I can't say anything bad about her clothes. I mean, I just love them. I mean, I've known her for a long time now. Like, I started as a client, and we've become friends. I try to visit with her when I go to Vegas. A lot of times, we've gone to breakfast and stuff. So, she's a sweetheart. She has an amazing story too. I wish she would film her story sometime.
I have to ask her if she's got a podcast on it, because she has an amazing story of how she came to, she's from Brazil, how she left so much in Brazil to come here and just start her life. I mean, she's like a true like American made story, you know, just, oh, she's awesome though. And Lauren, you're there. You should have breakfast with her. She knows a really great little organic place that's gluten-free. Okay, has anybody got anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to jump off here. I think we covered a lot of stuff. I did make a graphic of my 5 steps, so when this video is over, I will post it in the comments, and I'll also post it to the page too, so that you guys have it. It's, I mean, you know, it's just 5 steps, but to wrap up, those 5 steps are: make your plan, food, sleep, and exercise, be realistic with it, no bullshitting yourself, make a handshake agreement. This is the plan. We like this plan. It felt amazing when we made this plan, and we are all in. And then the rest of the week, the only time that you need to change it is with flexibility when true shit happens. Not made up stuff that we want to say, oh, I'm tired or whatever. The real deal, like my kid's on his way to the emergency room. My boss said I'll be fired if I don't work. That's being flexible. Coming home and your PJs looking better because you had a rough day is not being flexible. That's shitting out on yourself. And what was the last one? Oh, be prepared. So start preparing and, you know, get them clothes out. Tell them people you love what you're doing and be enthusiastic about it and prep you a little food. We're all good, right? All right, ladies. Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, and visit fitandfat.com. It's my website.